on this one. I wanted to start on this one about here-ish, I think. Yes, maybe a bit further back. This'll do. I think this'll do. So the hero of this story, I think, is... I can't remember his name. There's a specific reason why we're starting on this point. And it's because you can't see it very well, but his ping is currently skyrocketing, and I just wanted to point out, like, just... It's Vellator, that's it, it's Vellator. Oh, of course it's Vellator. Rank. I think this is during his placements, actually. We can go back at the start and just have a look at placements, but I love the chaos that happens here. So I was watching this and going, something doesn't... And so while this is a full game, like a full 20-minute game, it's like, okay, I can't really use this round because how am I supposed to coach that, basically? It's like, I can't tell anyone about anything about this. So, the rating for this game, I'm guessing, is about gold. I'm guessing mid-gold. Yeah, mid-gold Lucio on Oasis. I think I have the email open somewhere. I'm going to go look for it. 1 second. I'm going to go back to the webcam screen so I'm not reading anyone's emails. I'll just do it here. I think it is in the email as well. Where are you? Where are you? Lucio, mid-gold placements. There we go. Yeah, so mid-gold. So about average. I'm guessing about average rating. This is near the median. So we're going to skip on this first one. So it's worth noting as well, in this match, he has been forced onto Lucio. This is not a Lucio main. This is a player that is basically playing Lucio because he feels that they need a Lucio, which partially true. Going to be slightly less true, I'd say, in the next patch lineup. Just because Lucio is going to be less flexible in terms of what he can do. He's very good with bunched up teams in the coming patch. This is sort of true now, but it'll be even more true with the changes coming in due to the limited radius of the aura. It means he can't like easily heal stuff like Pharah and Mercy if they're roaming around doing other stuff. He's currently AFK as well, just fixing a problem. I think he's trying to fix his ping. Bless his heart. There we go. No problem.
Alright, do we go for high ground?
So... this, again, like, I don't like this, the fact that we're leaving spawn and we're asking, do we go for high ground? We should just say, let's go for high ground. Why do we go for high ground here on this team lineup? Because we have Genji, Pharah, Mercy. We have a Lucio as well, so we're going to speed boost there. We have 2 heroes that can, well, 3 heroes, Mercy, Pharah, Genji, can all take and contest the high ground without any issue. And then the rest of you can just easily contest it from the floor. So even if they do get to high ground first, you can contest it reliably and then just work from there. Rodog's run off on his own. Pharah, Genji have already taken control of it. They've taken low ground, but that's fine for us. We can just go on high ground and be nice and safe up here. Rodog's gone fucking crazy. This is Rodog's fault, not yours. Don't know what he was going for there. He just like ran into the enemy team. Got 2 people on the low ground. Okay, so we're just changing position. Let's try and position with our team. Correct use of heal boost. Ducks for the Junkrat. Let's just try and keep it healed up. And I'm fine with this staying on heal here for now. Speed boost now that everyone's topped back up. And you want to be basically switching between heal and speed pretty dynamically, and we're basically doing it correctly. We're on heal right now just to keep ourselves alive more than anything. Let's use half this boost for heal and half of its speed though, so yes, it could have been changed a little bit sooner. So one thing I want to talk about with heal and speed is if you talk to pro Lucios, like I had while talking to Vonathil, for example, who's the Lucio player for Fnatic, and people asked him like a very reasonable question, which is how do you use the boost? Like how do you get the most out of a boost? The way that he said it is pretty simple. He's going to use half of it for healing and half of it for speed. And the reason why you use half for healing and half for speed is because you only generally need about half of a healing boost to get someone from about 50 to 150. You don't actually need the full boost to do that. Speed then lets you reposition really quickly after the healing. So you either speed boost in to get people in. So if you're attacking, for example, you will use half the speed boost to get people to close the gap as fast as possible to minimize the amount of time it takes to get from point A to point B while taking damage. If you minimize that team with speed boost, it's a very good idea. And then when they're in position or near point B, that's when you swap to healing so that you're picking them back up for the damage they've taken. That's when you're aggressing. When you're trying to heal people back up, you heal them up for a second or two, swap to speed, and then they reposition with full health and just get better advantage, especially around targets like the Reinhardt. You definitely want that freedom of movement around Reinhardt so that your team can just get round him very easily and sort of mitigate the strength of that barrier. They're running triple tank as well, so we want to be careful. We definitely want to be speeding around the Roadhog. It just makes it that much harder for him to get any value off the hook. Like an instance now is when we should perhaps be on speed, just to help this Roadhog, for example, get into position. because we're not really healing too much at the moment. And when we especially move here, like swapping onto speed makes it much easier for our Roadhog to just get maybe a step or two around this corner, throw out the hook, and then grab this Roadhog. Instead, because he's on heal aura, he can't take that extra step or two and whiffs the hook. And like we can shoulder a slight amount of that blame. Just a small optimization, but it could have made the difference. Otherwise, yep, staying on healing now that your team is taking damage. Heal, 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 heal. We're a bit aggressive on the positioning here. Like, what are we doing? We're main tanking for some reason. Like, this is suicide against a competent team. If this guy's hook comes back up, we are just dead. Like, Lucio is a valuable target. If they have any DPS at all focusing us, we are just dead here, potentially. This is too risky. We want to be staying behind our tanks, not advancing on the main front line. We want to be pulling back when our team's pulling back. You've got to be very aware of that ebb and flow of the team. Good use of speed to reposition. Now we want to be swapping to heal, however. And the reason why is actually pretty simple. We see Pharah around here. So if we spot out the Pharah using the aura, so Pharah has just used the barrage. If we think about where damage is going to be going, damage is instantly going to be turning to deal with this. Like, damage instantly will be moving to deal with this. So we want to get healing to this as soon as possible, in which case we swap to speed, and we use it to either reposition around to the left, which to the right, which I think would have been the safer choice, or we try and go around and get line of sight on the Pharah, just to give her a little bit of extra healing. So yeah, swap to speed, and then the second she's in line of sight, we want to be swapping to healing again. And stuff like, you know, healing would help keep this Mercy alive. Now that the Roadhog's turned around, we do want to stay on speed just to get out of line of sight the Roadhog. Like, Whole Hog is a terrible ultimate on this point because there's so many ways you can just get out of range and hide. He's never really going to get much value off it. So, speed. Like, heal now. Ugh. Let's do this correctly. I'm hungry, clearly. Healing now. And then when this guy turns around, we swap on speed. Because remember, it's like, you can just switch back and forth freeform, and then once we're out of line of sight, we probably want to speed just to get around towards this Mercy and then get on healing for the Mercy. Which is probably what we're going for, but we want slightly boot out the way. Heroes never die. I'm perfectly fine with us making this Reinhardt's life hell. Like, he can't do anything. Good dodge. We probably should have been on speed at this point, because again, we're not really in line of sight on anyone, and Reinhardt is quite dangerous, so if this Reinhardt actually does start fighting, we want to be on speed already to get away from him. But like tucking around here on speed, I think is perfectly fine. Just to keep this Reinhardt afraid means that he can't do anything. Like, he's trying to react to you, but someone else could come around and get some good damage done. I don't think the boot was a wise move. It's slightly unnecessary because it just kind of repositioned the Reinhardt for them. You just got to be very careful with like doing boosts. Luckily, Genji's kind of cleaned up. Good job staying on speed, by the way. One of the best things you could do when Genji is Dragon Blading is just stay on speed. It makes the Genji that much more powerful. So stay on speed. Good. Okay. This is honestly a good res for us. The reason why it's a good res for us is because our pieces are already in position in terms of like how we're dealing damage. The only one who's slightly out of position is, I think, this guy. But even that is fine. Like, this Reinhardt is totally isolated from his team. He's not going to be doing anything, and the rest of his team are all over this way. So they're not going to be doing too much in this fight. What I will be looking to do is run forward, which sounds suicidal, get on speed, and then try and bring these guys into this fight as fast as possible and surround this Reinhardt. The only thing I'd say you got to be careful of is Earth Shatter. But you can easily circumvent that by just running to like this side of the Reinhardt, so he has to make a choice of either Earth-Shattering this way or Earth-Shattering this way. That will bring these guys into the fight, and if he turns this way, Roadhog should, like this Roadhog will be like, nice color, this Roadhog will be the happiest man on the planet, because Reinhardt's facing this way, and so it should be an easy hook. Instead, what we end up doing is we sort of just run into the team, we boop for no clear reason. Be very, very careful about booping targets that aren't low hit points, because you can honestly make things harder for the DPS. So just be very careful with that right click. Now use it as a finishing tool or a knockoff tool or a knockback if they're engaging super hard and you know that not much else is happening. I'd say this sound barrier is actually a bit excessive. And the reason why is pretty simple. So let's go to here. Let's go to here. So our site has been called. And what we're going to be doing is basically thinking, like, what can Soldier actually realistically hit right now? Well, most of your team is tucked back this way. You're safely tucked back this way. Pharah is even dropping down here, and Sights is over here. All he can do is run forward and then slowly try and run onto the point, in which case he's not doing anything. So we could just stay on speed and just pull back. This Junkrat's already dead. Like, he's out of position. And the rest of your team just pulls back behind the point, and this Soldier 76 doesn't do anything. Instead of using the ultimate, we could just pull back and not do anything. Is this total bullshit? Please do something else. You can go somewhere else if you want. I'm doing this. Let's see. Otherwise, Lucio, yep, stay on the point. Keep people healed up, keep people tucked up. We don't have to worry too much about healing right now, just keep the speed boost on. And yeah, like, we shouldn't even be on healing right now, we should be on speed just to help our team reposition. Like, this guy's already going to heal himself up, no problem. We can definitely confuse this Roadhog a little bit, just be very careful when getting that close, but our Roadhog sees the opportunity, that's good. We're going to be healing now, because the fight started. Like, their team is fragmented around. And we can just easily speed. Now we swap to, like, I don't actually understand what this Roadhog is doing. Like, he should be advancing with his Reinhardt, instead he just sort of ends up in the team. Like, I'd say this is where I'd be scared, and this is where we should be using E, just to try and give ourselves a little bit more speed, a little bit more evasiveness on this Roadhog, but the good setup for the hook, we've definitely made a best of a bad situation just because this is a scary point to be in, so I'm perfectly fine with, like, the moving around here, and then trying to shove this guy even further out of position. I think was a good choice. But I would have definitely used the E here, just to make ourselves a little bit safer against us being hooked and getting killed.
Nice hook.
Okay, like, we should be on speed right now because, honestly, we should just be looking to reposition and capitalize on this Reinhardt's vulnerability, and our team is looking to reposition, especially now that the whole Hog's in position. We should be trying to pull ourselves back. Now swap to healing. Now that we're on the opposite side, we're safe. We can just try and keep the team alive as much as possible. And it looks like their team is pushed through, and we'll be winning. We're not getting debated? Yeah, just ignore him. He's entitled to his opinion.
Welcome to Overwatch.
Thank you, Cotton IGI 360 though. Okay, we're coming back into it. Let's try and pull the team together. Correct, cool. I just want to highlight this because this is something that more people need to do. Which is just say it on voice chat.
Regroup.
Just call for the regroup. You'd be surprised, because also this is why supports should be shot calling. You can see the outlines very clearly of where your team are positioned. And so we can see, like, everyone is just fucking everywhere. Not coordinating at all, not doing anything as a unified unit. And so it's... like, we are not in a good position. Now we're actually in a good position. Now we can actually start doing stuff. We should definitely top people up. And then when we engage, we should be swapping and speed boosting in and then doing the heal aura. So yep, we're swapped. We should be minimizing time, so let's just press E and go. Like, this poking we don't need to be doing. We don't need to be doing this. It's a bit of a shame that Pharah is now so far out of position that she can't really help. Junkrat gets a good tire, so we definitely should be swapping onto speed just to get our team in position. Like, this is where we should be speeding. Once this has happened, this should be speeding because we should be thinking go time. And the thing with speed is, that's very nice, is that speed means that you just, it's a sort of very clear signal to your team to advance in and push in. Like, everyone knows, oh, speed is on, I can now push onto the point, and we can take initiative on the point. If their Lucio doesn't go speed to disengage and run away, your team just runs into theirs, and you could have a Roadhog in this area's face in no time at all. Instead, we run in on a heal field, and we sort of end up on our own, and then we get hooked and killed. Luckily we have a Mercy. Gotta pick us back up. Feels good. Let's get on speed. Just again, because repositioning is so important here. We get around the back, okay, swap to healing. Now we're fighting. After all the beat, okay. Now that Genji sort of made life a bit difficult by Dragon Blading, so we should probably stay on speed here. We shouldn't be focusing on this hog too much. We should be swapping onto healing just to get this guy back up. So let's just stay on heal. Good. Try and boot this guy. Feels bad, man. Beating away just to stay safe, but we should be swapping back. Like, we are already out of sight from where sights is here. So again, it's just considering line of sight and just trying to keep this Mercy up as long as possible. We should be on healing here. For the Amped up healing, it might keep her alive, but probably wouldn't anyway. It's down to you guys. Good ultimate use by their team. Feels bad, man. Bad call. If you win, this is more on their team failing, and the Pharah getting a good pick, but I would say that's a bad call. And I think I'm not even going to change that analysis based on whether you win up the fight or not, because it's kind of easy to say in hindsight, oh, this is a good mad call, but we've just lost Mercy, Roadhog. Junkrat is down, but we've lost like half our team. And then we just use this. There's no reason for us to think that this is a good engagement at any point anymore. We've already kind of lost this fight, and it's just a good coincidence that Barrage and Sound Barrier go off at the same time. This wasn't a coordinated thing happening, this was just kind of dumb luck. And that dumb luck meant that Pharah got a kill, then Genji sort of follows in and gets a kill as well. The Roadhog ultimate doesn't pay off, but honestly, you should have just let that fight go. Then the next fight you can start it off by using a concise and like properly coordinated Sound Barrier with Barrage, with Dragon Blade, and easily get a cleanup and kill. I think that was a very, very lucky thing that happened, and just be very careful with Sound Barrier. Like, Sound Barrier is such a... It's a difficult ultimate to build up because Lucios generally don't get that much healing done these days, especially if you've got like a really good Ana. It's very, very hard to build up the ultimate, so you're trying to build it up through damage. So you're generally only going to get like 2, maybe 3 per match, especially on these maps. You're generally only going to get like 2. And if you use it and you don't get any value, it's Mega feels bad, man. Anyway, good juking on the Roadhog. We just want to be avoiding him. We can just run rings around that Roadhog, no problem. Get the healing out there.
Mercy super low.
I'd say we're over-engaging on the Mercy now. We should be speeding to get back out. Barrage has gone in. We're in line of sight of the Barrage. We should be swapping on healing. I have a bit of indigestion. Apologies. We should definitely be swapping on healing now. There we go. Good heal. It just feels bad, man, because their DPS sort of gets the better of the point and manages to take it, I think, in this instance. Mercy doing the right thing by just waiting. You guys have time for one more push, especially because you have speed boost.
Alright, we need to hurry. We got one more push.
Yep, correct, cool. You have one push. You gotta make something happen. You could honestly tell Genji that you don't dive on the point just yet. And you could be feeding him that information.
Okay, go, go, go.
Good speed boost. It's a shame that the team isn't quite following. There we go. Good job.
Soldier low in the middle.
Very good. Like, we definitely want to be staying on speed when Roadhog's using Whole Hog. Speed boost plus Whole Hog is actually really strong. Sights has now come out. Let's retreat around the corner. Try and get heal out. Didn't manage to pull it off. Mercy's managed to get safe though. Does Mercy? This is where you should be pressing tab and just double checking that Mercy has res. Just so you know that, like, just so you can be thinking, oh, Mercy has res. What's my next move going to be? Like, you should be looking at this and thinking, what is my next move going to be the second that this chick presses Q, because she's probably going to do it judging by how she's moving, but just pressing tab lets you know anyway. And then you can see, okay, they're all like running around this way, so my next move is to sort of come around this way and just try and stay alive. If they try and chase me, that's good for us. And I could also sort of reunite with Mercy and try and do something with her. Mercy comes out, gets the res.
Nice res.
You'll be swapping on speed to reposition. Good, good, good. Try and keep this roller confused. Heal, heal, heal. Good, good, good. Good, 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 good. That's their grab. And that's honestly okay for us. Like, we should be trying to build a sound barrier. That's actually good. That's actually a much better sound barrage. Hopefully it hit the Pharah. The one thing I would say that we had to check for before dropping this is maybe where the Pharah is a little bit more. Because we definitely want this sound barrier hitting the Pharah. We do manage to hit it, which is good. It just means that the barrage is probably going to go off fully and probably going to do a lot of damage. Like, a full barrage just kills the shit out of everything. It's like 2,500 damage, I think, for all out. But I definitely want to highlight, like, an important step here was the fact realizing that, hey, we are 93% here. And then this Roadhog's just basically given us a free ultimate. So we could just stand here, try and get some headshots, build up the ultimate, speed round, and then try and reunite with the team. And we do a good job hitting that Pharah. Okay.
Nice, nice, nice.
And I think that'll do for, like, the bite-sized chunks. Like, as I said, I didn't want to do this full match because, like, the first round was sort of tainted by lag, even though your team won anyway, which is sort of a good sign that your team is better than theirs because you were kind of half out the game. Overall, I'd say, like, the Lucio positioning looks good. You are in the right place at the right time. It's just being very liberal in using switches when you are not amping it up. Because if you think about how effective that heal aura is in combat, it's not really that effective, but it is enough to sort of slowly make a difference. The big thing is having the speed boost active as much as possible, and then when your team starts dropping a little bit, having that heal aura hit as many people as possible. So you sort of want to use speed to position where you want, and then you want to use heal aura to keep as many people up and running as much as possible. And then when they amp it up, you've got to make a decision of, is this a heal and then speed, or is this a speed then heal? And in most cases, like, if you're in combat, it's a heal then speed. If you're preparing to go into combat, it's usually speed then heal. But it also depends on, like, what ultimates are going off. So if, like, Roadhog's ulting, you want to be using speed to get that Roadhog in position where it can deal damage, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Now is a good time to start asking questions. I'll take questions pretty much about anything because this is sort of a pick and mix. But specifically like Mei and Lucio, though, are very good questions, but questions in general, I'd say. As for this game, I'd say like also just on the Lucio changes, I don't think it changes too much here. I really don't think it changes too much in terms of how we were playing, how we were positioning. The one thing I would say is that like taking high ground as Lucio would be less significant. Like you wouldn't just be able to stand on the high ground and do very much with that. Okay. If Bucky Pants was an ice cream flavor, what would he be? I have not a clue. I'll let chat figure that one out. I could send in a Winston Oasis game. Send it in, actually. That would be pretty good. Winston's very relevant. Very, very relevant. And yeah, I haven't done Winston in a while, so a Winston game would be good. Actually relevant to that Winston. Hold on a second. I'm going to go grab something. BRB.